Our group talk is on how radionuclides accumulate in the environment. Natural radioactive elements were first created when they were put into an unstable state during the Big Bang. The Big Bang resulted in the creation of matter. Did you know that life on Earth is mostly possible thanks to the Earth being exactly the required temperature? This heat is provided by the lowest strata of the Earth through the disintegration of unstable elements which are contained in these areas. This means that the largest proportion of radioactive elements are trapped in the inner and outer core of the Earth. What is radioactivity? Unstable atomic nuclei will spontaneously decay to form nuclei with a higher stability. This decay is termed radioactivity. Energy is released in the forms of alpha, beta and gamma radiation. When these unstable particles are used by humans, the radiation is called artificial radioactivity. The time taken for the activity of a radionuclide to half is called the half-life. For example, uranium-238 will decay into thorium-234 and then again into several different elements before decaying into radon. Radon is a gas and so escapes from lower strata into higher strata. These radionuclides can affect the environment. They can become contaminated by radioactive particles. This can cause foliar absorption or root absorption, which causes long-term contamination. Animals can be damaged by external radiation, by ingestion of contaminated substances, and also by inhalation of radioactive particles. Radioactive particles can be absorbed in the ground particles, organic elements and microorganisms, as well as groundwater. The ground contains most of the radionuclides. Radionuclides can also cause the formation of free radicals in water, for example hydrogen, oxygen and hydrogen peroxide. Radionuclides can also be left as insoluble deposit on the seabed. Incident radiation can damage the DNA, which prevents cell regrowth and in turn leads to increased cancer rates. For example, survivors of nuclear explosions with high levels of radiation like Hiroshima and Nagasaki experience higher cancer rates, according to the US Department of Energy. The contamination of water from radiation will produce a number of long-lived radioactive isotopes which can be expected to affect the food chain and as a result may cause serious problems such as the increase of death rate in fish. Plankton, for example, are at the start of the food chain for marine life, and a reduction in plankton population can affect the whole marine ecosystem. High exposure of radiation can cause problems to the plants, such as a change of characteristics due to the development of genetic mutations. As a result, plants may grow slower and lose fertility, as well as affecting the animals who feed on them. Where these radionuclides become concentrated is dependent on the location and the climate. In general, plants and animals become more concentrated in certain radionuclides. Radioactivity in plants mainly results from potassium-40, and in animals, cesium-137 accumulates in the bone marrow. From this, it can be seen that radionuclides affect our environment in a greatly varying manner.